to my channel, Stitching Quilter. Thank you all for stopping by, and thank you all for subscribing. It means a lot and I really appreciate it. And you're going to hear the puppies in the background walking on the wood floors with their claws. But anyway, I thought I would jump on and do a video because we're already like the second week into November. I just don't know where the time's gone. This year it just seems to disappear and evaporate into thin air. So anyway, if you're a returning subscriber, you would know that I was supposed to have hand surgery on the 26th of October. But that got cancelled at 7 o'clock the night before due to an emergency that came up, I believe. So it's now supposed to be the 7th of December, so we'll see. Which I don't really mind too much. I kind of had a gut feeling. I always get messed around, so I had a gut feeling it wasn't going to go ahead. And I don't really mind because it means I can do more Christmas crafting and stitching before Christmas. So I'm actually okay with it at the moment, although the pain's getting worse and I'm finding my coordination is getting very hard with my hand now, especially fine motor skills like threading needles and things like that. But I still keep persisting and pushing through and just taking lots of breaks. I also got myself a Lowry stand for my birthday to see if that helps, because I won't have to hold the Q-snap in my hand that's sore, so I might still be able to continue to stitch even after the surgery while I'm healing. So, but anyway, let's jump into what I've been up to. So I will start off with the stitching stuff, and then I will go into some other bits and pieces that I've made. Because I did my last video, I think, just before I was supposed to have surgery. I was working on just ornaments at the time, and I've just continued to basically work on ornaments because I wanted to get a really good stash of those for Christmas this year. So I have worked on quite a few new ornaments. So I started off with this little sleigh. I love this one. This is one of my favorites. And this fabric here was like a little scrap that I found left over from a quilt, and it just matched perfectly with the colors that were in this little cross stitch. I believe I found the pattern for this one on Pinterest, and I've actually managed to do some really good French knots for the first time ever. But anyway, what I was saying, with this bit of fabric here, I found this one little tiny piece, so then I had to go hunting and digging to see if I could find more, and I managed to find another piece just big enough for the back. So it worked out perfectly, and it just suits this piece so well. So that was my first ornament. Then I did this one here, which I think was another one I found off Pinterest. It was another little freebie, and it just says Jingle Bells, little border, and I added the little bells to the bottom. You can see that, some blue flowers. Found these in a bag of some stitching stuff from Council Cleanup with some sewing stuff, and they just matched perfectly. And the back of this one is a blue, you can see it there, a blue sparkly fabric. I hope the lighting is okay today. It's a bit darker outside today. We had a rainy, overcast day yesterday, and today the sun is out, but it's not coming through that window the best anymore. This was another little Pinterest freebie that I found. It just says Merry Christmas. This was supposed to be holly at the side, but I made a mistake and decided just to leave it because I couldn't care less at the end. It doesn't look too bad. So that's that one. And I've just realised I put my fabric on upside down on the back, but who cares? It's alright, it's just the back. So it also says Merry Christmas. and I just added some little crochet flowers. All my trimmings for my edges, in winter here in Australia, I went to our Spotlight and I bought a ton of different fancy yarns. They were really cheap for like $2 each on clearance. And that's what I use for a lot of my trimmings on the edges of my ornaments. Next one I did was a little Christmas tree. I can't remember if this one was Pinterest or out of one of the just cross stitch ornaments. So that's another little one. So some of these, when I get them from Pinterest, I've actually been, if you have a look for the perla bead patterns or even some crochet, like the Graphgans, you can actually get, the way they're designed, it looks like a cross-stitch graph basically pattern, and you can actually do it from those as well. So some of mine have come from not so much a cross-stitch pattern from on there, but a perla bead or crochet one. So that was that one there, just a little simple little Christmas tree. And this fabric that I used on the backing and the back is so cute. It's just got little foxes. So this was a lot of these little bits of fabric are left over from Christmas quilts that I've made, because I've made a ton of Christmas quilts now. This one here, this little pudding, I believe this might have been one from a perla bead one as well. So that's a little Christmas pudding. That turned out super duper duper cute. Really love that. And I found another scrap of fabric that I used from a quilt, which actually had the Christmas pudding on the back. So that turned out really cute. I like that too. This was another little Pinterest one I found. The little birdie sitting on the present. I really like that one. It's super duper cute as well. And then the fabric on the back of that one's just got little owls and stuff, and once again left over from another quilt. I'm trying to dig through my scraps and use up as much of my scraps as possible. So the next one here, I just did this one here. I know it's not overly Christmassy, but we had our 10th wedding anniversary this year in September, so I wanted to do an ornament to honour that date, and I actually wrote the wrong month. My husband and I neither picked it up until I was looking through pictures after I'd finished it, so we had to do a repair job on that one. And pink and yellow was our wedding colours with frangipanis, so that's why it's in the pinks and the yellows. And then the back is just some pink flowers fabrics. And then I decided to do an ornament each for the cats and the dogs. So this one here is Sasha's, which is our oldest dog, and she's the mummy of the other two dogs that we have. So that was hers. So I've done them all that's just the back of hers, the pink check. It's really cute. I've done them all the same paw print pattern, and then just done them a little bit differently with their names on it and stuff. So that's Chloe's. She is the next oldest, so she was one of Sasha's puppies, and I think she was the first one born, and she was the runt of the litter. And then the next one was Marley's. Now he was the last one born out of the litter, and we didn't think she was having any more, so he was very lucky, and both her and him were very lucky to be alive, because we thought she'd finished having puppies. And then I've got the cats ones, so I've got Jasper, and then here's the back of his fabric. Actually, I forgot to show you the back of Marley's fabric is this dog bone, cute dog bone fabric. And then Jasper's got the yoga kitties. He's always stretching and stuff, so I figured that suited his personality. And then the last one is Oscar's. And then on his, I got this sparkly kitty fabric, which is so cute. I loved that one. So that's it for my cross stitch finishes. So I believe this brings me up to about 62 or 63 cross stitch ornaments for this year. So that's a pretty good amount. That's probably going to fill the tree. I've got a new Christmas tree on lay-by, a pencil tree, because our house is pretty small here. So I thought the pencil tree would be really good. And I think it's like just over 6 foot. I think it was like 193 or 95, something like that, or 205, something like that. Anyway, so if you aren't interested in seeing some of the other little crafty things I've made, you can go ahead and click out now. That's fine. I've just got a few other bits and pieces I've been working on as well. So I've made this Prairie Point, I think it's called Prairie Point Christmas ornament. I think I'm going to try and do another one of these and use them at the top of the Christmas tree on either side as my star, basically. So I really like that. It was really super easy to make. A bit hard on the fingers, especially with my hands playing up, to get through the thickness as you start getting more and more of the points on, but it was still super easy and very quick to make. So that's that little Prairie Point one, and I've just done a red and a creamy spot fabric. And then this one here is a little log cabin Santa Claus that I made. It was supposed to be a Christmas ornament for the tree, but I was just going off a picture that I'd seen, so I didn't know the dimensions of what they would cut things and stuff. So he's turned out a lot bigger than I thought for the tree, but I'm just going to hang him on the wall, and that's him there. I'll go back a little bit so you can maybe see that, hopefully. And I've done his little yarn moustache. I actually used a bit of blush for his arm cheeks, and I did French knots for his eyes. And then the back is this same fabric as the red in there. So what my plan is now is I want to make another one this size so I can have it hanging either side of another project that I'm about to make, or I'm in the process of making. So I'm going to make another one this size, and then I'm going to make a smaller one to go on the tree as well. But he was super quick and easy to make as well. And then I attempted to make some project rolls, not yesterday, the day before. One for my mum and one for my daughter. And I cut my measurements wrong, and I'd already put it together and quilted it. So I was like, I didn't want to waste the fabric. I actually cut them both at the same time, so they're both cut wrong. I've still got one to finish off though. But anyway, so I decided to turn it into just an envelope style project bag. And I've put snaps on mine. Oops, that snap just broke, so we need to fix it. Anyway, and I really like the size of this actually. This will hold my, I like to work on an 8x11 Q snap a lot of the time, so that will hold, oops, just pop that snap off there, we need to put a new one on. That will hold my 8x11 frame really good, because it's basically a little bit bigger than an A4 size, so that turned out really good, and I've just got one more to finish off of those. So just pop that back in there. So then yesterday I reattempted to make the project rolls. So I did the project roll from Vonna's tutorial. Super easy to follow. I just screwed up on my measurements because I measured off my mat, and I don't usually measure off my mat. I usually measure off my rulers. And my cutting mat is a bit strange where it doesn't start at 0, it starts at 1. So I miscalculated the 1 inch. So I've made 2 of those, which I think turned out really cute as well. So hopefully my mum and my daughter's going to love those. And then I've got these. I actually did these before the last video, but I forgot to show them. I've made these. I just need to find out where I'm going to hang them, but they're so cute. I found this set of 3 picture frames from Council Cleanup, and they're very rustic and farmhouse looking. So I was going to use them for cross stitch, but then I decided I had this apple pie barn farmhousey kind of fabric. So what I decided to do was to frame it into these, and I had 2 fat quarters, but I think it only used 1 fat quarter with some scraps left over. So I've done the one, I got one this size. Actually, I've got 2 in that size. And then I got 1 in this bigger size. And I want to try and find a spot in our kitchen to hang them. It's a little bit hard because we've got concrete walls here and we're only renting, so it's very hard to put things on the wall without damaging the wall. So I'm just trying to figure out where I want to put them before I put them anywhere. But I really, really liked those. So that's about it, I think, for this month. I'm working on a couple of projects now, seem I have the time. I will show them before surgery. I'm hoping to have them finished. And then I would like to also probably be being a little bit ambitious, but I've pulled all my Christmas fabrics to make 4 Christmas quilts if I have time before surgery comes up. I'm going to at least try and get 1 done, but if I can, I want to get 4 done. So we will see how I go, because it's getting very hot here in Australia. So some days it's so hot to try and quilt when you have it sitting on your lap. You just sweat like crazy. It just runs down the back of your legs here in summer. Sorry, my puppy girl wants to say hello. So this one here is Chloe. Look, Chloe. Hey, say hey. She's very huggable, this one, aren't you? I think the others are pulling you down. They want to say hello too. Come here, Sash. This one here is Miss Sasha. Say hey. Hey. She's very, very cuddly. She's so cuddly, aren't you? And she loves everybody. Chloe and Marley are very standoffish with people, but Sasha loves everybody. So they're running around like crazy now. So yeah, so I have a few plans for some quilts and a couple of more finishes. I'd like to do a few more ornament finishes, but we'll see, because I'm working on a couple of little bit bigger projects. But and I would like to get the quilts done probably more so than getting too many more ornaments finished at the moment, because obviously each year I'd like to add to my ornaments, and if I have too many now, then I'm going to run out of space on my tree, although I would probably just have a couple of trees in the end. So that's it for now. I hope everybody is having a good November. I know over in the States and some other countries it's starting to cool down. And for everybody here in Australia, it's starting to get really hot. So stay warm or stay cool, whichever country you're in. And I will touch base with you guys in a few weeks. Just one other thing, I have been collecting some Christmas decor, and I've got it. So I was thinking, if you put it in the comments below, I was contemplating doing a Christmas decor haul, probably next week or the week after, once I've got a few more of the things that I wanted to get. So if you'd like to see that video, just let me know down below in the comments. And that's about it, I think. So thank you all for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye for now.